Hello everyone, it's Kix and Rapidly, and we're back for some more STPL, and one of us has a brand new angle.
That's right, I thought this would accent my good side, although I don't know if I really have a good side at like 4
Do you have a
a.m.
360
in the
degree
morning,
camera?
so
Is that possible?
I can spin around 360 degrees, but I'm just going to not do that. But
Yeah.
anyway, I'm happy to be awake and staring at the ceiling at 4 a.m. And also happy because we have not one, not two kicks, 3 series.
And how many more than one is that, Rapid?
That's 2 more than 1. And if you're European, actually if you're German, we have 3 series. And if you're Korean, we have 3 series. And if you're American, we have 3 series. So there's 3 different ways to look at the 3 series that we have today.
Okay, well, having a look at our first, or in fact, before we go into that, let's have a look at how Day 2 changed the rankings. White Clan and NiCe won both of their games 4s, or all of their games, so they won 4-0. So that actually catapults them to the top of the table. They're actually going to be tied up there at the end of, well, I don't know if they're going to be alone at the end of week 1 at the top there, but still. But a lot of our teams did really well. Of course, it is only week 1. This will look a lot more interesting the further we get inside the tournament. But it's always good to show this up. And also, just to take another look at the player rankings. Obviously, we do have the ELO system in the STPL. Things are looking pretty similar there as well.
Yeah, I think that nothing surprises me about this because we haven't had a lot of the big top 4 teams play. Saw White Clan play, and I guess but they didn't play any of their players, like pSi, who's in the top 10. And then Seoul plays today, and something tells me a few of their players might be heading up in the standings just a tad.
Yeah, it obviously depends on who they're up against due to the yellow system. But having a look at our first game, we're going to have 2 teams here. We're going to start with Storm. Storm have been around since round 1. They didn't have the best of successes in Season 1, but they are a fully Bulgarian team. They're kind of like the Bulgarian national clan. So they're out here representing kind of like Net Wars is for Poland. And they're going to be up against one of our newer teams, NiCe. Now, NiCe actually went up against Eternal Friends, EF, who we saw play yesterday. And they did win their show match 3-2 last week. So that was kind of cool.
What I thought was kind of cool is not only seeing NiCe, but Eternal Friends also had a pretty good showing. I was, loved seeing them play. But what I love about Storm EU is they just keep coming back. And what's crazy is, like Bulgaria specifically, like I'm as an American, my Eastern European country knowledge is not that high, right?
Same.
But Bulgaria just has a disproportionately large Brood War or StarCraft community just in general, StarCraft 1 and 2. There's still so many Bulgarian only StarCraft 2 tournaments and StarCraft 1 tournaments. I'm just like, wow, okay, I get it. Like you guys just really like it. So I hope this season goes well for Storm because I know they are putting in a bunch of work and there is a very strong community there.
Yeah, now one thing about this series especially is we have a lot of ZVZs going on. Praise is actually playing Zerg in this series, so that's kind of interesting. He usually plays Protoss, but they're going to have a ZVP between Mitak, it's a ZVT actually between Mitak and Chobo. I'm going to quickly reload the overlay when we get started. Then we're going to have a ZVZ between Cold and Ore, and then a ZVP between Jim and Master. So we've actually got 3 separate matchups, 2 ZVZs. Should be kind of cool. Although very fast.
Yeah. So if you translate Mitak into Cyrillic characters and then translate that from Bulgarian into English, it means the customs.
The customs. Okay, that's a bit of a weird thing.
I don't know, man. I'm reaching for that one. I just thought that I would
throw
wow
it out
the
there.
audience.
Well, you wowed me. Yeah. I believed you. I don't know if it's true or not.
Wow.
But I'm just saying. I'm just quickly reloading the overlay, so I've just sent it back to us for a second. But our first map is actually going to be, as it has been the whole week, Neo Arkanoid. I know that was the kind of map you pointed out in the Pylon show when you were doing the This Week in StarCraft section as the weird one, so it's kind of cool.
Well, I mean, there's so many to choose from, Kix.
Yeah, but I think that's kind of like the niche of everything I've ever run, so it kind of works. I think it works pretty well in some cases, so hopefully you guys enjoy.
For some reason, people still play on your maps.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, I think it was Dragon in the STPL Season 2 thread when I was doing the announcement. He was like, you know what, at the start of the tournament, I saw all your maps and I thought, wow, these are so garbage. He said something like that anyway, like a typical like North American, just really, really like, okay, I'm just being 100% honest here. And then he's like, but I actually changed my mind. I found I enjoyed playing on them. And it's like, mission accomplished. I did it.
Okay, well, at least somebody does.
Yeah. Well, I mean, most people must do. If you think about it, there was 12 teams from Season 1 that actually signed up again. And the only 2 teams that didn't folded, so...
I actually really like watching them. I think as a spectator, it's really cool to see a lot of new maps. But obviously, it is a little bit of a burden on the players to figure out what on earth you're supposed to do. Because we've definitely seen some players that have no idea how to play on these maps.
Yeah, thing is, like, week 1 especially, it always kind of happens. Like, it happened last time as well. We end up getting to a point where it's not like that anymore, and people get used to them, especially by about week 3. Like, usually the people that are going to be playing have kind of picked a map they want to play, and they'll kind of just stick with it. So I'm hoping to see we'll see people improve them, and we saw it in Season 1. We've got 2 new teams as well, so they're probably going to have the most fun, because unlike the Season 1 teams who have a lot of history, I mean, we can have a look at the player history now. We're going to start with praise from pSi. We've actually got full pictures from pSi as well. There was a really funny picture for one of the players that unfortunately got subbed out today, but they got me to replace it. It was kind of like this weird pose where he was playing football, but it was like super blurry. It was as if he was kind of like in bullet time or something.
Wow, that is the most Bulgarian man I've ever met, and I have never met any Bulgarian men. I just know instinctually from looking at that. There he is. Also, I now know what the flag of Bulgaria looks like. So.
Yeah, that also helps. So we've got Praise obviously here. Praise played a lot of games in Season 1. He was kind of like one of the mainstays in pSi's roster, at least for like the first half. Obviously, if you didn't know, Season 1 of STPL lasted 15 months, which is crazy. But a lot of players kind of came and went in the time. But Praise is back here for Season 2. He's got a 30% win rate overall. And his opponent is going to be someone who in the show match won not only 1 game, but won 2 games. He actually took the first game he played, it was a ZVZ against Ozina, and then he actually beat Blaze in the ZVT at the end. So this Essen's got a lot of experience.
Yeah, who even is Essen? I like to think that I know like a few of the North American players. But like I've literally never heard of most of the players in NiCe Clan, and it's not shade. I just like there's just true. Lots of good North American players. So
yeah, I'm not gonna lie.
What he has to bring to the table.
Yeah, when they actually submitted their roster, they added like 6 Terrans, and I was like, wait, there's more North American Terrans? Like, why have I never seen them before? Like, what the heck? Like, is this real?
Oh boy, can't wait to see what happens. Yeah, because there's a lot of new teams and new players this season, so the only way that we can get to know them better is to watch them play. And of course, our first map is Neo Arkanoid. This is what it looks like. It's got, wow, this is what it looks like. Holy. Every once in a while, that accent comes back, and I'm just like, duh, where did that come from? It's got 3 neutral... This is horrifying. It's got 3 sets of neutral buildings. If you're at close spawns, you got to break through a lot.
Yeah.
To get to your opponent's side of the map.
Now, we haven't seen a ZVZ on this yet, but I imagine this is going to be relatively cool. So let's get into the game. It's Praise versus NiCe, or Essen, sorry, his name is NiCe backwards, so I got confused. It's a ZVZ on Neo Arkanoid. Okay, and starting us off here in the top left-hand position, we do have the brown Zerg and NiCe Protoss, because it's the main race, fighting for pSi. It's Praise.
And his opponent, playing for NiCe, is NiCe. I'm just gonna call him NiCe, not Essen, because like I get it, guy. You spelled your name backwards. You're really cool. If you want to add some X's and underscores in there, you'll also be really cool.
NiCe is a lot easier to say than Essen as well.
Yeah, also maybe it's akin because the C rules in English are completely stupid. Because it's I before E, not after C.
No, but
this is
that's
C
not
before
actually
E.
true. Like, that's the weirdest thing. Like, I look back at this, and very rarely is that rule actually real. Like, they taught
No,
me that in school, and it's not
it's
true.
I before E except after C, or when sounding like A, as in neighbor or way.
Okay,
The
I've never
last
heard the
part,
full bit.
that's
Like,
yeah. That's the one that gets you. But yeah, there are a lot of, but it's consistent when it's consistent in its inconsistency. So when the rule doesn't apply, it always doesn't apply in the same way. So that's all I'm trying to say. Also, if you're trying to learn English, literally screw you. Our language just
yeah,
totally
it's
sucks.
impossible. Like, good luck.
Yeah. But we know how to colonize stuff. So, anyway, back to Bulgaria versus America, a matchup I never expected to see.
Yeah,
This
so
is, like you said, a ZVZ, but it's cross positions and it just takes forever to get to your opponent's side of the map.
yeah, no, we've actually seen a diversion already. We saw NiCe or Essen go for a hatchery in his base first, so it's a 12 hatch. Sorry, not a 12 hatch, a 9 hatch into a 9 pool and 9 gas. So going back down to 7 drones for him. And Praise actually went for a pull first into a lair. So we're going to see Fast Spire coming in here from Praise. And I think, realistically, that's bound to be the better build in this situation. Like, if Essen can actually get a second hatchery up and get to a Spire, maybe we'll see something else happen. But I don't see that happening if, like, Mutas just fly straight to his base.
Yeah, so Essen is going to go for the surprise route where you bust across the map with Zerglings, which is actually a little bit more doable in cross spawns than it is in close if you're trying to get to the closer base. So this is really interesting because I've just never seen this. The map plays like an island map, especially because it takes Zerglings forever to break through these buildings, as you're about to find out. But if you can catch your opponent off guard while they're fast-teching the mutas, then go for it. But usually on island maps, you just go for air as fast as you can because you're protected by ground. And actually, these Zerglings break through these temples deceptively quickly.
Yeah, this is one of those moments. I think I mentioned this game in the cast the other day. I saw Anytime versus Jangby on this map from 2007. And Jangby's like, oh, I'm going to build 3 base super quick because it's PvP and you're not going to attack me. And Anytime's like, no, I'm just going to build 2 Gate Zealot and break my way through the map and just kill you because you've got nothing. So this is surprise. Like, he's already broken halfway through the map rapid. Like, if he can get in the main, there's nothing scouting for this either. So
yeah, I'm pretty sure Praise is actually just dead. Wait, there's no. Can you do this? I didn't even know.
This is Arkanoid, man. There's multiple options.
And yeah, these power generators in the middle are actually really interesting because it's not a flat wall; it's a curved wall, so you have extra surface area.
Yeah.
Wow. And he actually was hesitating there for a second, so this could be even faster. This is disgusting, Kix. You can't go for a fast Spire? What?
Well,
okay, there's less surface area on these temples.
I mean, let's be honest.
He needs to control his lings. His lings are running away. Oh, no.
He got very lucky that he scouted cross. Like, or he's going cross, because he had a 50-50 chance of going top left or top right, and he picked the right way. So
yeah, that's true. If he was
wait, no, I know why. He saw the first Overlord. They both scouted in the same direction, so he knew where he spawned based on that. God. Let's see. Yeah. Let's see if Praise can hold this. I don't think he can. He's got no defense, no lings. This is bound to be it.
Yeah, no, he's just dead. Wow, this is so crazy. This is so stupid. Wow, what?
This is EBZ.
Stuff. Yeah, exactly. I would have the same reaction there.
Wow, what an amazing opening game, which makes, like, if you think about Neo Arkanoid, you do not think that would ever happen, but you know what? It just did.
Dude, you know what needs to play during this freeze frame of the end of the game? The JoJo ending.
To be continued, yeah.
You're probably wondering how I got to this place. Wow. Yeah, this is what is that? Oh yeah, somebody typed it in chat. It's like, you know, those collages, like 4 pictures taken moments before disaster.
Oh yeah.
And it's yes, that's so good. I love it. Wow, what a game. I was just talking to our supple audience out there about how long it takes you to break through all of these neutral buildings in the map. But it turns out if you just make 1,000,000 Zerglings, You can do it. And I'm glad you pointed out how I love gesturing up now. This is my new thing. I love how you pointed out like how lucky it was that the overlords scouted each other, because otherwise you'll have no information about where your opponent spawns and you just gotta guess. So don't try this at home, kids.
Yeah, I mean, the crazy thing about that is it sets a crazy precedent as well moving forward, because all of a sudden, like, you can't play Neo Arkanoid just, I'm going to build 3 bases right away, because SN has proven you can break through really quickly, so you got to be careful. And I mean, I mean, that was a 4-minute game, so I don't know if you want to just jump straight into the next one. I've already got everything ready, so essentially... We're going to be heading into a ZVT now. Of course, that was probably the quickest game on Neo Arkanoid I think we'll maybe even see all season. So I'm actually going to look at the VOD after this and see the game length, just so I can test out my theory, and I'll keep an eye on that for 14 weeks. But Mitak is the next one up. Mitak was one of the most successful players for pSi in Season 1, played a lot of games. 1942 ELO, so he's a Battlefield fan right about now. He's actually 3 for 2 against Zerg as well, so definitely one of his, against Protoss. So Terran even, man. 1 in 3, and I got it wrong twice. Okay, but 3 and 2 against Terran. I think that's actually his best matchup overall, so really well done. And his opponent for NiCe is going to be Chobo.
Okay, I actually thought Chobo had played more, but I also know nothing about this guy.
Yeah.
But at least he just spells his name forward and not backwards.
Yeah.
So will we make it past the 4-minute curse to the 6-minute curse kicks so that our friends can use their emotes? And also, by the way, we need to... Oh, they did change to STPL emotes.
Yes, I updated it. Emotes. No, I found out how to update them. So it's STPL 6-minute curse, or STPL curse, I think. No. So that's kind of good.
Dude, that's such... It's like you're a partner or something. This is actually so much better than whatever, what Kicks SD or whatever.
Yeah, it was...
I mean, no offense.
Yeah, no. It, like, to be honest, I kind of hated the fact that I've had Kicks, but even Kicks on its own, like, whenever I tried to get them to shout out STPL on Pylon Show, like, they wouldn't be able to say the name, and then they'd have to spell it anyway. And it's like, well, if I change it to STPL, you have to spell it by saying it, so it just makes it easy to guide people around. But yeah, we're going to be heading on to Carthage 3. We saw some amazing games on this map already. We haven't seen a ZVT here yet though, so I'm excited to see how this is going to play out. I've actually played a ton of ZVT on here, so when we get into the game, I'll speak about it a little more. And speaking of getting into the game, let's head in right now. Okay, so starting us off here in the top left-hand position, we do have the Yellow Zerg fighting for pSi. It's Mitak.
And his opponent is Chobo, our teal Protoss our teal Terran player. I don't know why it looked like a zealot instead of a human in the unit counting station, but anyway, can I just say how fun it is to cast games with the worker count now? It's just so cool.
It looks nice, I must admit. I barely look up at it because I'm always looking at the minimap when I'm trying to observe, but it's always nice to have like a frame of reference. Like, I don't think I'd want too much more information, but it's useful to tell, like, especially in a mirror matchup as well. Like, ZVZ, if you can count the drones, it's so much easier to cast. It's crazy.
You know, yeah, for ZVZ, it helps me when I, like, after I play a game or, like, you know, lose a game, I can go back and it's really easy to see build orders now.
Yeah.
Because you just see when the building is made and just look up and see how many workers they have. And I'm like, oh, you know, that's actually super easy.
Yeah, it's also good to finally be able to know, like, when you lose a game and you're like, why did I have no army? And then you look back and you had like 100 SCVs or something, and it's like, yeah, that's too many. So it's always useful, good amount of info. And the other good thing for us as well is I need to get a proper screenshot of it again, but we finally know the names of the colors, like the official names. Unfortunately, because you know they added the color chooser.
Oh yeah, they actually listed the colors.
Yeah.
Well, okay, first of all, they're clearly wrong because they do not have malachite in that list of
yeah,
colors.
We worked that out. We used the color chooser, so Blizzard are wrong. I guess we need to tweet at Grant and
Confirmed.
Matt and get them to change it. It's like it's malachite. It's not lime green or whatever the
Wait,
color
where
is.
is the? I thought they had the. Oh, there it is. Yeah, patch notes. So it's just like clicking on it in the client. All right. So where is the list of colors? Here we go. Oh, here it is. Okay, hold on. I'm finding it. Scrolling down.
Now, just
I'll
like,
get there eventually.
yeah,
You can
just,
keep
just
talking.
while you look up at that, one of the things about this map, I've played probably around 30 games versus Cadenzi on this map, and I've lost to Mutas so many times. I know Cadenzi is like 10 times
Why
better than
this
me at this
map?
game, because I really like playing on it, but one of the important things to note, I'm going to actually reveal the map even though there's no need to for here. This cliff here makes it very difficult to deal with Mutalisks. It gives them a lot of free reign over both the natural and the main, as well as the small choke, and it can make things very difficult. And also lurkers as well on this map are super strong.
Lurkers? Yeah, actually I can see that, because there's all of these like uppity downity, like slope double ramp kind of things. That's kind of like, not like Heartbreak Ridge, but kind of that same idea.
Yeah, and they're even tighter. Like in Heartbreak Ridge, you can kind of run around if they've got lurkers on top. But on this map, you can't. Now, we did see Rax CC into a second CC, so it's going to be... I believe this is actually Tirax Academy. There's not going to be an Engineering Bay just yet. This is a really good build for this map. Kind of a more old school approach to the TVZ matchup, really. But it's 2-hatch lair on Mitek's side.
Yeah, and usually this would spell 2-hatch Muta, but he's going Burrow as well, so that's kind of weird. I mean, it's not weird if you watch like pro Zerg play in Korea specifically, because there's this double quotes Mol Zerg build that Effort kind of coined that. He actually said it in English on his stream, at least from what I remember. Solkey also kind of not pioneered, but like was working on it too. But Effort was the guy that used it to beat Flash in the ASL finals.
Yeah, that was a crazy game.
Well, so he did it versus Last in the semifinals, and that's where people lost their minds. But then he did it again versus Flash and bopped him with it, because you force your Terran opponent to not be able to finish dealing with one threat. Yeah, and that's the cool part about it, because you can't. What are you gonna do? You don't scan that early. He's just now getting his comsat station. It's a third of the way done, Kicks.
Yeah, and you don't want to waste your first scans on a single Ling in your main. Like, it's just such a waste. And the thing is, this Ling can keep popping up, doing damage and burrowing again. It regens really, really quickly underground, so... Well, maybe this is normal regen. It just looks like it's fast.
No, yeah. That StarCraft 2, they regen faster underground, but this is just regular regen.
I think it's because you barely ever see the Zerg units actually get to regen, especially Lings. So
yeah, for sure. I mean, the big thing is that you need to do the burrow thing with high numbers of Lings, because otherwise, yeah, he just sits one Marine on top of this Ling and he can't do anything. But the bigger thing is just the vision, the scouting. It's like, oh, what do you do? He's gonna have to scan for that eventually.
Yep, or
maybe
build a turret,
eventually he'll get a vessel.
And a vessel as well. Turrets are probably more likely. There is actually a Spire on the way, but Hydralisk Den is coming up straight away afterwards. Now, this is usually the sign of, like, fake Muta. I mean, he could go into 3 to 6 Muta here, but I don't think he's going to go all in with them. So he's not going to kind of just build a ton and then just try and micro his way down. He's going to immediately tech into Lurkers behind this, I think. And getting a third base already.
Okay, so I just bit my lip really hard, Kicks. So I'm going to sound like a little bit weird here for a second. But I'm in incredible amounts of pain. Almost like Cho's about to be.
Yeah, well, you say that, but there's already there's missile turrets on the way. There's a good amount of bio in between the two bases as well. Range is about to be finished as well. Let's have a look, see if that lurker aspect is on the way. Not just yet, so it is going to be some more muteless for now. I guess he's just preparing to get his third up and operational. But for now, Choba is not going to be able to push out on the map, so this third is in a really good place.
Yeah, I do like the
and it's unscouted as well.
Yeah. I mean, how would you scout that if you have to use your scans to either find the mutas or see what's going on in the main? So here we go, flying in. There's a turret in a pretty good spot, but you know all the Marines are there. So what are you gonna do?
Yeah, I must admit, so far this burrow choice really hasn't done anything. Like, he doesn't even have any units to burrow anymore. Like, there was those 2 lings and they both died, and now there's nothing that is worth actually
Wow.
burrowing minus drones. So, I mean, it's going to help a little bit later on when maybe drops come in. But of course, that's assuming we get... Oh, we have got past the 6-minute curse. We're saved. So,
Well,
yeah, nice
you know,
repair on this turret.
Kinda interesting. Usually there's you know, at least a few more Zerglings, not just like actually none. And the other thing is like he actually completed 2 sunken colonies across the map. And usually if you're going for early mutas, you want to kind of use the mutas to keep the Terran opponent in his base, and then you can see when he moves out, and then you morph the sunkens. But that's a lot of money to just spend and not have anymore.
Well, it's quite normal actually to go for 2 to 3 sunkens, like if you know you're going to be muta harassing, because if you think about it, your mutas can't be everywhere at once, and if you miss a bio ball leaving your base, you need to be defended, because we've seen so many games where Zerg just fall apart.
You don't morph all of them.
Yeah, maybe not. I mean, it's only 2, so it's not the biggest investment, and unlike a normal game, there's already a 3rd hatchery up here at the 3rd base, so it kind of makes up for the fact that he did spend that extra money, just because his drone count's going to be higher.
Wait, why will his drone count be higher?
3rd hatchery, 3rd base, better income.
Yeah. The third hatch is actually really huge because you almost never see third hatch built on location.
Yep.
In a TVZ, so that is just like bonus zone. And you know, it's not one of those weird maps that doesn't have gas at one of the bases. These are all gas all the time. This is 3 gas Zerg, way fast. So I mean, we're almost all the way to Hive. This is something I guess you can do kind of really cool on this map. So he's gonna have like a 9-minute 30-second Hive.
Yeah, 3rd base has been scanned, but like, how do you break up the ramp to these lurkers? Like, you also have to worry about the mutas going in behind you. There's only a single turret here. The other bios coming to move in to intercept. There's another couple of lurkers on the way as well. If they can maybe stop lurker in between the base and the 3rd, that would be insane. But it looks like they're going the other way for a counter.
I think he's going to try to run by the bunker and get behind the mineral line.
Oh, that could be really good. Yeah, it's either that or you go for just like blocking the reinforcements, because this is Chobo's entire army right now.
Yep. So he only oh man, I think he just dies, right? I mean, this is an insane amount of bio. He would need like 5 sunkens to hold this.
There is lurkers though. Oh, there's only 1 lurker here.
Yeah, but there's only one. So he scans the 1 lurker, and now he's going to save the other scan, stim forward, and
oh, he's trying to block with the Overlord. He doesn't quite manage it though.
And now he's dead. So that was a game. Unfortunately, the game will end now, and we'll get to move on.
Oh, the lurkers aren't burrowing.
Yeah, so he does scan, but he can just run by the lurker.
Oh, and the mutas are dying so quickly as well.
Yeah, and now he can just kill the lurker. He could actually stay there and kill that muta, but yeah, he just kills everything now.
Yeah.
Damn.
Chobo with a really punishing timing attack here. He scoured that most of the lurkers would have been at the 3rd, and then I don't know, he's just like, oh, I'm just going to go to the natural and kill you now. But, I mean, Chobo's army is going to get cleaned up, and there is still 3 hatcheries worth of drone production, but...
Oh, kill the drone. Get the bonus zone.
Bonus zone.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it is.
Oh, 8 health on that lurker.
Yeah, he almost kills the lurker. He almost could have killed a couple more drones. I thought that was going to be much more tragic. As is, it was still pretty tragic.
Yeah.
But because there's a bunch of hatcheries and because he's already on 3 bases, he might just be able to drone his way out of just losing that. Because most of the casualties that he took there were the 2 sunkens and the drones that he lost. And if you can rebuild those, you've already got this crazy high tech.
Yeah, it's kind of weird if you think about it, but usually in like 2-hatch play, like if you lose your natural, it's game over because you're all 1 base. But Chobo already has another... He's still on 2-base economy, and that's not that bad. Like, obviously you want to be higher, but Consumer's on the way. And the second we get Defilers with Consume and Dark Swarm, like, these bases are unbreakable with just bio. I mean, there's 3 tanks here, which is obviously a big timing. But this timing in a normal game would come around 9 minutes 30, so this is a lot later than your normal 3-tank push.
Yeah, you actually have a really good point there, Kix. I mean, what are you supposed to do when you get delayed this long. I actually love that one of these is a spore at the front, not a
Oh
sunken.
yeah.
So the science missile can't just
Oh,
like sit on top of it.
well, he's not going to have a swarm, and he's not consuming because the consume's not
Wait,
done.
why didn't he consume? What?
I don't think he realized it was done. That's really, really unfortunate. But 3 tanks now. We need a swarm. If we can get a swarm here, maybe you can hold on. But why is he swarming up there? You want to swarm at your natural. Okay, it's still going to work. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's not really going to work because he doesn't actually kill a tank. But he does push the tanks back, which is, I guess, mission accomplished.
Yeah, but if you can swarm where your Defiler is, the tanks can't kill anything anyway, so then you can get more units. But right now, the Lurkers are kind of stuck in the middle. There's a Defiler somewhere. Okay, the Defiler's further back. And it looks like we're going to have a push in at the 3rd base here now. There's no energy on this science vessel, though. Oh, and here we go.
I'm waiting. They going for it? Okay, I thought he was going to try to like sandwich or something, but no, he just runs forward.
Oh, we got 3 Defilers here, but no swarm.
Does he really not have any swarm? Consume a drone, like, yeah, you got to get the swarm up.
I mean, right now the only thing you can save is his drones. Like, the base is probably going to go down here, and there's still nothing to consume.
Yeah, so he spawns some Zerglings to consume them. He's going to consume another drone. That was a gas drone, actually. So he can keep swarm up and keep mining here. But you can't swarm buildings. Oh, he actually does get the Scourge, or one of them, to land on the science vessel, but, you know, it's not, not really good enough.
Yeah, this is a bit unfortunate here for Mitak. Like, he was in a good place, but he just consumed another Defiler now. And I mean, yes, this base is not going to die, but he doesn't have any units, and we can already see there's a big amount of reinforcements coming in here from Chobo. I mean, surely this just has to be it, right? How does Mitak hold? Oh, and there's no swarm on the Lurkers at the front.
Wow, this is just really difficult. And so I think this next bio push is really going to be what does it.
Yeah.
Straight into the natural. Not enough there to defend. I mean, I really do like this 4. I think it's being used fantastically. Unfortunately, like, you know, everything else went wrong, so that kind of a little bit of a struggle.
Yeah, that's a little bit unfortunate. Chobo has played this really well, though. 1-1 upgrades for him. No upgrades on the range units. Still no swarm. If there was a swarm on that Hydra, it wouldn't really help that much, but at least it would have survived. All the drones have gone down. The NiCe is going to go down as well, and Mitak just has no units. Like, he's cleared up the units at the front of the base, but there's another Lurker that's going to die now to irradiate. It's actually in the middle of a load of Lings as well. This has definitely not been Mitak's game.
No, he had a lot of moments where he was just barely able to hold on. And that's actually, like, quite remarkable considering how tragic some of these occurrences are. But in the end, yeah, there's just like nothing you can do. He has 18 workers to 41. I'm so happy I can say that now.
Yeah, and you just saw that there was a load of scan going down by Chobo. He's like, well, he must have bases somewhere else, right? Because why is he still in the game? But you know what? I mean, Mitak's trying to hold on. It's 34 supply against 126. Swarm is a pretty good spell, but unfortunately, Mitak, you need more units to do something with it. And I mean, there's a great Aspire, but there's the only muter that I think was on the map has just died. And he just doesn't have the economy anymore. And GG.
Oh, well, that's it. GG. Mitak taps out, and Chobo takes game number 2 for NiCe.
Yeah, a well-played game by Chobo. Unfortunately, like, Mitak, like, he usually plays better than that. Like, I don't want to say that he played bad, but just he was looking at the wrong places at the wrong time, and that is really easy to do in Brood War. Yeah. And Chobo was doing a really good job of pulling his attention away. So really well done by Chobo. Relatively strong Terran player from North America, it seems like. When we get back from this break, we're going to be heading into a ZVZ between Cold and Ore, and that's going to be on Desperado. So see you guys very soon.
Outstanding. Rock and roll.
STPL does. Bio TVP? Wow! You got it! STPL does! Mass Scouts? No problem. Broadcast 3 nights a week on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 2100 CEST. Fantastic casting, fantastic production, fantastic prizes. Only here on the STPL. Did you know Reavers could be this radical? How did these lings even get here? All I know is that's one dead base. STPL does! Wraiths, Valkyries, Carriers, and Corsairs? Forget about it. You won't see that anywhere else. STPL does. STPL does. STPL does. STPL does. STPL does. DT's doing game-ending damage? Name a more iconic duo. We've even got carriers in PvZ. How amazing! A global team league on the scale you've never seen before. Don't see this in BWCL, STPL does. All that and more, only on this amazing 64-bit STPL. What BWCL don't. Impressed? I know I am. Why not support us on the link below? Patreon.com/kicks. But act fast. It's a limited offer.
Coast 103.5.
Okay, for our third map, we're going to be taking a look at Desperado, a 2007 MSL map. Once again, another relatively old map in this pool, but it led to some incredibly good games back in the day, and I'm looking forward to seeing how it will do in the modern meta, as it works a little bit differently from a lot of the more modern maps. The main difference being there is no gas in the natural, but there is the second gas that's easier to take, so Zerg are not in trouble, as the main actually has two gases in it by itself, so almost like a one base map. There's lots of different variations of builds you can do. Tech builds on this map are incredibly good, but it's also very easy to defend as well, as the mineral only is choked off by some minerals which you can mine out to open up the attack path later on. The top and bottom have a gas base, as well as the left and right have island gas bases as well. All relatively easy to defend. Drops very good on this map as well. Hello guys and welcome back. We are here for another game in this first series of today's STPL. We are currently seeing NiCe up 2-0, and we're going to be heading into game number 3, which is going to be a ZVP. Starting off with this guy here right now, it's Cold.
Yeah, and for Cole, I actually do remember casting a few of his games last season.
Yep.
He really did struggle, but he had, oh yeah, he beat Red Warrior. I remember. I was actually really excited to see Warrior play for his clan, but rip, that did not work as according to plan. So, Cold, I guess he's not one of the better players on his team, but he's still about 2k MMR. So we'll see if he can bring it back for Psystorm.
Yeah, it's kind of funny when thinking about Cold as well, because he had a really, really sick game with Radley, and it's sad because he did really, really well. But what I remember the game for was he got nuked 10 times, and it shouldn't be because he did so well. It's just Radley plays so strange in so many strange situations that Radley somehow pulled a game off that he probably shouldn't have won. But yeah, I mean, Cold is a really sick player. Looking forward to seeing how he's going to do in Season 2. And his opponent is going to be Orr. Now, Orr is a... Sorry, this is EVZ. Orr is a cool Zerg player for NiCe. He actually played against King Toss on Carthage 3 in the show match, which he won. So, can't really go too much into him. We're going to kind of discover him as the tournament goes on. We're going to be heading on to our third map. It's going to be Desperado.
Oh boy, Desperado. Love this map. Double gas mains. The craziest of starts. We'll see how it goes. I'm reserving my judgment here.
Okay, well, let me just actually... It seems you left the game, so I'll just talk about the map quickly. I don't know how that's possible, but yeah.
I was in the lobby. Okay, alright, I'm here, I promise.
Okay, and you've also got the download. So let's get started. It's going to be game number 3 on Desperado. Wait, why have I got the announcers playing? That hasn't happened.
What?
So I got the Korean announcers going for some reason at the start of this game. Maybe we just like don't talk now and the OSL observers will just do this for us.
Oh yeah, they'll cast the game for us.
We need to do that as well. But starting us off in the top right hand position, we do have the Red Zerg fighting for NiCe. It's Orr.
And now his opponent in the orange, playing Zerg for Psystorm, is Cold.
Yeah, can you do your magic trick, Rapid?
Oh. I can. My magic trick where I pretend like I don't live 10,000 miles away from you.
Yeah. Well, that's unfortunate, but that's just the way it is. But we do have
imagine
both.
If I could just like come over to your house and cast STPL.
That would be sick. Yeah. And I also have room to do it now. The last time you did that, like we had to somehow pull my bed further closer to my desk, and then you were like 10 foot higher than me. So that was really unfortunate, but you know what? Times have changed. I got out of jail. I wasn't actually in jail, but it looked like a jail cell. We've got the players spawning in close by air positions again. We actually had a gas trick done by both players to get an extra drone. So they are going to have a little, well, they're going to have an extra drone, a little bit better economy. But Orr is actually sending his drone out to scout, whereas Cold isn't. Maybe this is to hide a base, actually.
Yeah, I think it is actually to do that.
Oh, is he going to take the other main? That would be sick. 4 gas. So. Let's go.
But it's actually very, like, because you don't drone scout in ZVZ, right? So I'm just trying to figure out what is happening here. I was going to say, like, if he did drone scout, then he could, like, offensive sunken or something stupid like that. But I believe this is actually just to take another main, right?
I mean, it has to be, but he's gone up towards the natural, so there's going to be spawning pool and gas. I mean, he is building that in normal time. That kind of does throw Cold off a little bit, but obviously they've both gone for the same build. And Cold will have seen that his spawning pool and gas was later, so he's probably going to be wondering what could be going on. I mean, it wasn't that much later, so maybe he's just going to think he got an extra drone out beforehand or something.
Oh,
but...
look, Cold drone scouted to see if there was a hidden hatchery behind him.
Oh, wow.
Oh, so he scouted down there to see if anything was down there. Obviously, the only thing that would be down there would be a hatchery, right? But then he's also going to build his second hatchery just off, like out of the way. So it's out of vision of the Overlord.
Now, I don't understand Orr's plan. Orr is building a hatchery at the top left. It's not really at a base. Like, yeah, it's got one mineral there that he can mine properly, but if you're going to do this, why not just build it in the main? It just seems like a really weird decision, but I guess he's got something planned. I mean, there was...
So the reason I saw, like, Cold scout down with his drone is because if that red hatchery were close to Cold's base, it would be where he scouted with his drone, but it's not. So like he can't proxy Zerglings with it because like they're even farther away. So like
I mean, the only thing you can really build up there is Mutalisks, but even so, they're going to be coming in from farther away. Wow, there's actually going to be 3 hatcheries coming in from ore here.
how many? Wait, what? Kicks?
3 hatcheries. This is
Yeah, but
strange.
why do you put the hatchery in the upper left like there?
Yeah, why not put it at the main? Like, that would be so much better. But then again, I guess if there's a Mutalisk flying around, like, I mean, we can already see 2 Lings running around, like, they're gonna scout the other main. But they're not necessarily gonna check this natural.
Hear me out here, Kix. When you're scouting to see if there's something up there, as the Zergling will do, sometimes you only scout far enough to see the creep, and if the hatchery is further north, then the Zergling might not see the creep.
Oh, it doesn't see it.
The Zergling is gonna gonna scout the main. Actually, it does see it.
Yeah,
does.
like, he checks the natural.
Yeah,
this is so strange.
I mean, what are you gonna do about it, right? It's a million years away, and now the Lings are actually gonna flood in from the one hatchery in the main. I am so confused, Kix.
So this is definitely the weirdest CVZ I think we've seen, but it looks like we are going to have a sunken on the high ground. There is going to be a lot of Lings heading his way. I don't think there's actually a lair on the way. I do need to double check that, but Cold is already well defended at the top of his ramp, so this for now isn't going to do anything. But look at the number of Lings they're going to be flooding in. It's 3 hatchery Lings. There is no lair. This is 100% an all-in. And is it going to work? The Spire's finished.
I mean, I think we know the answer to that, Kix.
Oh, he's bringing a drone. Like, is he going to build a proxy sunken as well?
All his morphing, there is a lair. All his morphing his lair in the upper left.
Oh.
Wait, he gets 2 Zerglings in, but he's going to lose them both. So, dude, Kix, man.
Yeah, I'm not so sure about this one, or like, I think I know there was Essen in the chat earlier saying he practices build a lot, and I guess Aura's done the same. But I think you need to
build.
Well, building a hidden hatchery and then going for like 3 hatcheries, but unfortunately, I mean, he is going to have spore colonies, but yeah, and Cold went straight for spore, for Scourge and flew it straight into a spore colony, so. Wait, Or's sending another drone? Oh, okay, that must just be a missed rally, so...
yeah, I guess probably. He's on move command with his Zerglings, so he actually almost missed this tiny scouting Zergling up there, and actually it's going to escape. So there's Overlords and Zerglings and Mutas all out on the map here for Cold. I mean, he doesn't have another base to mine from like Awe does, but, I mean...
You can't really mine efficiently there at all, like... You can get maybe 3 drones up there.
Yeah, he's sending 1 Muta up to the upper left. Okay, never mind. It was just like missed.
There's also 2 Mutas there as well. Yeah, so it's 3 Mutas now.
Is a weird one.
I mean, if the Spire finishes, eventually, Or is going to have more Mutalisks. So maybe he wins later game, but there's 3 Mutas going towards this top left base. There's no Spore there. The lair is up here. This is strange. I don't know what to say. Like, genuinely, I am speechless.
Why did he build the lair up here without building a spore near it?
Well, there is going to be... Okay, I thought there was going to be Scourge or something, but they're actually just 3 drones that are all going to die immediately. So, that's unfortunate. 3 more drones going to go down. There's going to be no spore up there. Once again, the Lings are going to move in through the middle of the map, see if they can do some damage. But there's so much defense everywhere that... Or is just unable to do anything.
No, I'm very confused here. So when a build is genius but it doesn't work out, it looks bad. So I'm thinking that there was something that just didn't work out, because this does look bad. So it has all the hallmarks of something that could have looked amazing, but now just looks exactly the opposite.
Yeah, like...
I'm not trying to like... I think it's really easy to say, wow, your build didn't work, haha, but it's like, no, it's not like that. It's like, I'm just trying to figure it out, and nothing, it's not happening.
Yeah, because I'd even like to say, like, I know that he lost his hatchery, his lair in the top right, but he does have his Spire. he's getting +1 carapace, and he's got a lot of spores already, so maybe in some kind of bizarro world he can still somehow like build enough Mutalists to hold on, but the Mutalists are just going to take down this hatchery.
Yes, they are, Kicks.
Oh, that's a mistake there.
Look, yeah, the Mutamicro is not impeccable. The hatchery is actually out of range of the Muta.
Oh, he gets 2 Scourge hits.
That's not bad. But I mean, losing this hatchery would be totally tragic, right?
Yeah, I mean, this is like the linchpin of, well, I guess the layer in the top left was the linchpin of this build, but another Mutalisk goes down to spores, so I almost feel like you should just leave the hatchery. Like, you know you're in a massive lead, and the only way you can really lose...
Attack the egg and bounce the glaives off of it.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's a little bit harder to do, I'd say, but I mean, you're so far ahead anyway, the only way you could lose this game is by throwing away all your Mutalisks, so even attacking the Spore, I think, would have been better there. Spores die deceptively quickly.
Why is he microing mutas next to other mutas? If you lose your mutas, you lose the game.
Yeah, I don't know. This is definitely a weird game. The good thing is... Oh, a huge thank you, Hirmu, for the 25-month resub. Unfortunately, I did check yesterday, and I can't give you a 2-year badge. That's partners only. So, if you want Hirmu to get a 2-year badge, guys, keep watching the STPL. Eventually, we'll make it to partner, and then Hirmu can get the badge he deserves. So, you can help out Hirmu as well as the stream.
I did have a Lonkeren the other day. This is this awesome drink that Hirmu showed me when he was out here. And it's actually, strangely enough, even though it's a Finnish drink, it's actually in every convenience store I've ever gone to here in America.
Oh, really?
So, yeah,
that's
it's
so weird.
So, yeah, thanks for the heads up there, Hirmu. And thanks for supporting STPL.
Okay, so I think this is going to be game over now. All the Mutalists are actually flying in. They killed the extra hatchery. It's 1 base production. Or had more drones even, but they're all dying to Lings. And now the Spire is going to die before it can finish +1 carapace. I think. It's so close! Can it finish? No! Wait, did it? No, it didn't. Yeah. GG.
I don't even care, Kick. Get me out of this game. I don't even know. Hirmu, if you're here for builds, maybe skip that one. I don't know. I don't know, man. That was just holy. Okay, anyway, we're moving on. And once again, I don't mean to like disparage the player. You know what they say, the old adage, don't hate the player, hate the game. So yeah.
And I do appreciate both of you for coming out playing your game as well. Like as you said before, like if Or's build had worked out there, it probably would have looked genius. It's just because Cold scouted it that all of a sudden it didn't. Now that is gonna take pSi 1-2 in the series, so they do have their hopes alive of possibly making it to the ace match. It's going to come down to this final game, and because that was a relatively quick ZVZ, we've also got 3 series to get through today. I'm already hosting the next game, so yeah, I thought it might be a good idea just to hop straight in. Obviously,
I thought that's a good idea too. There you go. I've hopped into the game, Kicks.
Okay, perfect. So we are going to be heading in to a ZVP. Neither of these players have played before, so I'm not even going to like bring up the player history screens or anything. But it is going to be Jim for pSi and Master for NiCe. Now, Master is actually the clan leader of Team NiCe, so shout outs to him because he's organizing everything behind the scenes for NiCe. I keep going to say White Clan for some reason. I think it just rolls off the tongue. Just saying NiCe as well just seems weird. But it's Neo Outlier, 3-player map. We've already seen 2 ZVPs on here, and both games, the Protosses looked incredibly dominant on them. So let's see if Master can carry on the trend left by DeWalt and LML, or if we're going to see the resurgence of Zerg as we hurry up and get into game number 3. It's game number 4 even. It's Jim versus Master on Neo Outlier. Okay, and starting us off in the 12 o'clock position, we do have the yellow Protoss fighting for NiCe. It's Master.
And his opponent on the bottom right-hand corner is Jim. You still there, Kix?
I am. I was just taking a quick swig of a drink.
Nice.
I see that Cold is in. Yeah, I see that Cold's in chat, and he kind of sort of proves, I guess, or confirms what I was thinking. Where in that last game, the timing of all the buildings was slightly off, so Cold realized there must have been a hatchery somewhere else, because when he looked, there was just nothing. So that kind of tipped him off against Or's build. So that's a bit of.
I mean, yeah.
Bit sad.
That's the problem with doing anything too weird, is that as soon as it looks weird, your opponent's just like, all right, defend.
Yeah.
And then it's like, well, you know, that's why if you do something weird, it has to be something weird that your opponent can't counter by not knowing what it is and just defending.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Anyway, to talk about the builds for this game, it's a PVZ. So, of course, you're going to have your forward forge or gateway. This time it's a gateway expand. So, it's going to be a little bit more proactive, getting those zealots out on the map. Maybe being a little bit more aggressive. On the Zerg side, it's just starting out with the overpool, super standard.
Yeah, I mean, Overpool is definitely the most normal game. It's a bit unfortunate. It's kind of week one here. Well, it's not unfortunate. It's good because we're going to have so many more great games coming up. But when you don't know anything about either of the players, it can make it really difficult to, like, especially in the early stages of the game, to actually find someone to talk about. Like, usually, if we've got someone who's played, like, 20 games, we know his style, we know exactly what's going to happen. I mean, we've got a drone scout coming in from Jim, but is that going to be for, like, a proxy hatchery? I doubt it. But yeah, like we don't really know enough, and this is kind of us learning along with you guys how exactly both these players are going to play.
Yeah, for sure. I think when you see standard openers, that gives you the best chance to learn how players are going to play.
Yeah.
Just because there's not like there's. Okay, so it's a double-edged sword, right? If you see them play weird, then you're like, hey, that's how they play. But if you see them not play weird, then you know kind of more about their fundamentals, like more of what they're actually like as a player.
Yeah, I mean, Master's doing a pretty good job. His wall, I mean, he's likely not played this map a lot, and learning how to wall in PvZ is probably one of the hardest things you can do. And this map actually has a relatively awkward wall too, so the Lings could do a little bit of damage here if he's not careful, but there is already 2 Zealots, and it looks like this is a really tight wall at the top, so there's going to be a 3rd Zealot popping out into this, probably going to pop out behind, no, actually going to pop out into the fray, and let's see how well he can trade against all these Lings.
Oh, he's not microing the Lings. He could just like run in there. I mean, obviously micro is micro, but
yeah,
he's still going to be able to deal quite a bit of damage because that's just a wide open gateway into the gate into the
Oh, and if this gateway goes down, this is going to be a really big problem. Like, you need that gateway, and here we go. The Lings are just going to get into the natural. Unfortunately, I think this is going to be. Oh wait, actually, if Jim wins this, I forgot we're going to go to the ace match. So.
Yeah? Is this going to be a 6-minute curse? Jim! Psystorm! They doing it, Kix?
Well, Jim's certainly looking like it. It's going to be really difficult. I mean, there's only one gateway that went down. There's going to be no further Zealots. I mean, this is crazy.
At the front, and now the only other Zealots are chasing 3 Lings in the main, which is totally useless. He's going to lose the Forge. He's going to lose the gateway at the front. Oh my god. I think Jim did it. Wow.
I mean, is there a world that Master can win from here? Like, the Lings in the main will get cleaned up, but they could do a lot of damage. The Forge is going down, as you said. The Gateway is next on the agenda. The Nexus is nearly done. But, I mean, the Nexus isn't going to help you. You're going to be able to get attacking units from there.
Yeah, I mean, probes are pretty good, Kicks. They're not that good. So, yeah, I mean, he's able to build a Zealot, but I don't even think we're going to see another Zealot. Are we going to hit exactly the 6-minute curse? No, this is going to be the 5-minute curse.
Yeah, this has to be.
Like that. Okay. We've got to get one for each curse.
Well, I mean,
Like,
the
I mean,
pylon
so
goes
he
down
can
in the
always
main.
just like, yeah, that's the reason I'm saying it's like totally over. Because sometimes you can defend on your ramp, but this is like A, it's a reverse ramp, and B, like he just couldn't defend anywhere. So yeah,
GG.
everything dies. Master taps out. Going to an ace master kicks.
We are, and I must admit, I am incredibly confused because I don't think I actually have that replay, so we may have to put big to be continued on this series. I need to double check. Hopefully Grass is around. I'm gonna take a quick
I
break.
mean, I was like, did we give a point to the wrong player? It's like, no, this was like very back and forth. I was like, okay, yeah.
Yeah,
No, it's definitely
weird.
2-2. Okay, just checking. Sometimes, we get things wrong, but nope, that's just really weird.
Yeah, so I'm going to throw it up to a quick break while I try and figure out what has gone on with the replays here, because I do have a fifth replay, but it's a UMS game, so I don't know what's going on. Yeah, it's like a fake replay, so I am going to figure out what's going on while this break's going, guys, and we'll be back in a few minutes with either the ace match or we'll start the next series and we'll come back to this one, so don't go anywhere. See you guys soon. Neo Arkanoid also makes its appearance in STPL Season 2, a map from 2006. It's from the OGN Star League from back then, one of the early OSLs. And it's a semi-island map. I think one of the first of its kind that got major use after about the year 2004. It's one of a kind. I don't think I've ever seen another map like it. There's temples and power generators absolutely everywhere, making it very difficult to get through the middle of the map. But air units, of course, going to be very important here. The one problem all three races are going to have is the very easy to take second and third bases. They both have gas, but they are blocked by those chrysalises, so it makes it important to build a few aggressive units early on in order to get that second and third gas as soon as you can. Important thing to note, if you do open up that center, the rush distance is very small. Next up, we have the 2009 map that was used in Pro League. It is New Tornado. New Tornado is a relatively standard 4-player map. There is only 3 bases in each corner, very much like Fighting Spirit. That was kind of the style at the time of these kind of macro maps. The main and natural look perfectly normal, lots of buildable space. There is a high ground pod outside of the natural, however, which gives you a staging ground as the aggressor to use ranged units to hit from the high ground, but you can also use it as a defensive position just to give you that extra bit of range, especially as Terran. It allows you to secure your natural a lot easier a little bit further into the game. It does make pushing out a lot harder as well, but there's also a third gas base, upper ramp, very Fighting Spirit-esque, very easy to defend, and a relatively open center, but those high ground pods are going to be an area of contention, as if a Terran player can get siege tanks up there, it can be deadly. Okay, finally we do have Whiteout, the ASL Season 7 map, one of my favorite recent modern 3-player maps that's been designed. It has a relatively normal main and nat with a ramp with a ledge that you can drop on both the natural and the 4th base. The 3rd base is kind of out in the open. It's a little bit harder to defend. You'd only have to worry about 3 choke points, and 2 of them are through the map's main feature, which is actually the use of these vision blocking doodads to create little forests, which is where the name Whiteout gets its name, as if units travel through there, their vision is completely hindered, and and it makes it very difficult to see ahead of you if you don't have an air unit with them. Now there is a 4th and 5th base, they're relatively easy to defend, but the trouble is they are very far from your main and can be quite difficult to expand. And as this is a 3-player map, of course the other main is going to be very important. Neo Arkanoid also makes its appearance in STPL Season 2, a map from 2006. It's from the OGN Star League from back then, one of the early OSLs. And it's a semi-island map. I think one of the first of its kind that got major... Hello guys, welcome back to the STPL to answer Fuji's question. We're only still on the first series. Luckily enough, we did actually find the 5th replay. Huge shout outs to Master for actually sending that. I think Jim managed to submit the wrong replays to his team, so that could have been very awkward. But we're going to be heading into game number 5. We've got another ace match in Season 2. This time we're going to be having Jim, who we saw before, up against Essen. Obviously Essen he played earlier and did not win his game, if I remember correctly. I think he must have done. Okay, things are a bit weird. I think he did win. It's fine. We're going to be heading into our 5th map. It's going to be our 2nd time we're seeing New Tornado in the STPL Season 2. So we had a sick TVT on here. So hopefully ZVZ will be equally as sick, because that was genuinely one of the best series we had.
Yeah, so this map is actually really interesting because A, we almost never see it, and B, wait, what's the English name for it? It's New Tornado, right?
Yeah.
So in Korean, it's like new. It's technically, I think the name in English is Water Spout, but I think what they're calling it is like Neo Typhoon. And I guess a typhoon is like a tornado, but it's definitely not tornado.
That's really weird, because you know how you get like the names from the Korean map makers when they saved the map?
Yeah.
Like they saved it as New Tornado, so yeah, I guess it's just kind of a weird thing.
So this is really interesting. Yeah, Shinpungi. It's like a twister or hurricane kind of idea.
Yeah, and I guess it kind of makes sense with the shape of the map. But I mean, I'm not really sure how we're going to see this play out in ZVZ either, so I guess it'd be a good idea just to get straight into the game.
Okay, I'm down. Let's do it.
Okay, starting us off in the 12 o'clock position, we do have the red Zerg fighting for pSi. It's Jim.
That's right, and his opponent in the other side of the map, hold on, I gotta change the latency, is Essen, or NiCe. I'm just gonna call him NiCe because he's on the clan NiCe, and his name is NiCe backwards, so NiCe. So yeah, NiCe is in the brown, Jim is in the red. We've got another ZVZ kicks.
Yep, this is the third ZVZ.
Yes.
Like, how crazy is that? 3 ZVZs in a single series?
Yeah, I mean, they've all gone really fast too. I know that's like a kind of a stereotype for ZVZs, but a lot of times they're going fast because like the games are just really weird.
Yeah, it's kind of funny looking back at like the old, like the OSL and MSL. Like whenever they had a ZVZ final, it didn't happen very often, but when it did, like the amount of padding they had to put in between every single game, because Like the final was over like in terms of game time in like 40 minutes or something, even less maybe.
How many ZVZ finals were there? I can't remember too many.
I can't remember too many, but the famous one is Calm when he won his OSL. No, that was an MSL, sorry, because it had Dante's Peak as one of the maps. I remember that one, but it didn't happen very often, I don't think.
Well, yeah, I guess that's good for esports, but
Yeah.
yeah.
It's like, I can't really think of too many TVT finals either. I know there was the famous one with Boxer versus I Love Uv, but can anyone else think of any, like, TVT finals? Because that's another thing that doesn't really happen.
Yeah, I guess there's actually not that many mirror finals. I remember a couple of PvP finals, but do I? I don't know. Maybe they were old school. Anyway, this is the ZVZ final for this game, and I guess the we didn't really talk too much about the map. I think this is by far our most standard map. It's just got a spinny thing in the middle, and I guess like there's some random high ground, but there's nothing on the high ground, so it's not super impactful. There's no like neutral buildings or anything. There's like some crystal eye, but they don't really do a whole lot. So yeah, you just have bases around the map.
Yeah, and we've got both players going for mirror builds. I mean, in STPL, that seems to be a very, very standard thing in mirror matchups. We've got both players going for a few lings. Both of them are playing very defensively, because neither of them have actually scouted their opponent yet, so they can't really risk doing too much. Looks like Jim got a phone call in the middle of the game, so luckily enough, this isn't live, so we don't have to sit and wait for him to finish. But that must have been kind of annoying for Essen.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really care what his phone call is about, and I don't know if he like had a long conversation or not. But yeah, through the power of technology, we've got we get to watch the rest of the game. And yeah, CRVT pointing out that it's 12 hatch versus 9 hatch, which is actually kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, 9 hatch is super aggressive, whereas 12 hatch is economical.
Yeah, so I mean, you can even see, I guess Essen must have been the one who went for the 9 hatch. I do apologize for missing that. But you can already see how many more lings he has over Jim. Like, Jim's got 2 extra drones. But it looks
how did
like...
he not kill that Zergling?
I don't know.
No, one Zergling from Jim just ran all the way into the main. Just for free.
Yeah, I guess it's on 5 health, though. So it is going to die eventually. But, I mean, look at Essen's drone count. It's not very high. I mean, it's kind of funny how Jim was actually planning to be aggressive. Then he, like, runs backwards when he sees how many lings there actually are.
Yeah, I mean, he'll be able to defend back at home perfectly. He's starting a Sunken, but I don't even think he needs to.
Yeah, and Jim actually built that Sunken with a gas drone, so that's 8 less gas that he actually has. I mean, it may not be super impactful, but he just needs to kind of survive here. And let's see if he can do it.
Yeah, it's morphing the Sunken right now. If you don't target it, it's going to win Jim the game, and Jim's going to win the Ling battle handily. And that will be that, Kix.
Yeah, this is very difficult. I mean, obviously Jim just spent one of his drones to build the Sunken, and he's not mining it as natural. But neither's Essen. Essen is still going all in. He's building more and more lings. And
oh wow, how did he get 2 lings in? What?
Yeah, well, I guess lings aren't dying, man. That's just it.
Oh, they definitely died, Kix. I just watched all of NiCe's lings die. So NiCe, yeah, not this game. This game, he's not very nice. Unless he manages to bust in with wave number 2. You know, it's like they never expect the second all-in, except that this time he definitely expects the second all-in.
Yeah, now Jim, Jim, yeah, is actually building a second Sunken. Like, Essen, Jim knows that the only thing he has to do is survive.
Are we calling him Essen or NiCe?
I'm calling him Essen, so I think we should call him Essen.
Okay, alright.
Yeah, I keep defaulting to it because it makes sense, but the first Sunken is taking so many hits that the lings from Jim are just in an incredible place. And there's another Sunken already done. And GG.
Yeah, that's it. GG. Wow. The 6-minute curse prevails, Kix. A 5-minute, 50-second game. So if you guys are subbed to STPL, you can use that 6-minute curse emoji.
Yep.
To accurately describe this finals. Well, wow. Congratulations to Jim. I'm not sure if Jim won that game for PSi or if NiCe Essen lost that game for NiCe. But either way, yeah, congratulations to PSi. They start off STPL
Season 2 with a win.
Yeah, I mean, let's just have a quick look at the results. Obviously, if you have just tuned in, I noticed there's quite a few people who are actually watching. This was only the first series of today. I know this series was not the most interesting. I mean, I think it doesn't really help when you end up with having 3 ZVZs, because ZVZ, in a very rare occurrence, it will be an incredibly fun game, but most of the time it just looks like someone getting stabbed like in the back repeatedly over and over again until they just die. So we saw a 2-0 lead for NiCe. Unfortunately, that didn't last. Cold and Jim pull it back for pSi, get their names on the board. And that's going to head us into game or series number 2, which is going to be Soul versus Bull. And it's going to be coming up after this break. See you guys very soon.